Welcome back to the Yarn Dungeon. I hope that yesterday was a nice and relaxing day. You are refreshed and ready to go. We have some fun things to chit chat about, and I am so ready for Halloween planning for 2025. Yes, I am already back into the festivities. Yesterday was really nice though, just to kind of relax. I ended up watching a ton of Halloween movies, just like ones that didn't quite make it onto my list. I was starting to work through that, which I have a project that I'm going to show a little bit of progress here. I'm still writing everything down. I was planning on working up a beanie last night, just something mindless as I was watching TV. And I have a few patterns I was going back and forth between, but I decided, no, I just want to make this new one. It's been in my mind for a little while, and I'm really loving the direction that it's going. But first, we need to get into our 13 nights of Halloween Hangover Box collaboration with Muse 2320. So tonight we have a little squishy package. If you've either opened them all up, obviously you already know, or you have them laid out, you've probably guessed that today's is yarn, a little bit to play around with. And this one's name is I Myself Am Strange and Unusual. We have 50 grams of fingering weight yarn to play around with here. And this is why I've been kind of messing around with different patterns that use either a full hank of yarn or a half a hank of yarn. It's 80% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, which would be perfect for socks if you like to crochet or knit your own socks, which was something that I was kind of playing around with because my sock knitting machine back here has not been used all of October. Like, it just sat there. I'm starting to get that feeling again where I want to make some more socks. Again, I think it's just because it's getting colder. I definitely go through cycles when it comes to the patterns that I like to work up, except for blankets. I am always in the mood for crocheting blankets, so I don't really know what that's about. Potentially a project that I could work this up into. Obviously, I need to cake it all up first. Also, this beanie that I'm creating, it would be perfect for it too. I really don't have any patterns that use fingering weight yarn to create beanies. Normally, I like the worsted weight, so it's a 5.5 or a 5mm crochet hook, just because I can make them really, really quickly and kind of power through it. Especially now that I'm starting to make, all the cold weather stuff. So the mittens, the gloves, the scarves, that's my go-to. However, I have a ton of this fingering weight yarn. Drape on it is just beautiful no matter what I use. I figured, you know what, why not? Let's just go ahead and play around with this. So what I have from last night is not a lot because I did rip it out quite a few times. I just didn't like the stitch, didn't like how it laid, but this one, now I'm very happy. Again, we have to give it up for this color. I knew it was going to be so beautiful as it started to unfold like this. The pops of black in here with the crimson red. The entirety of this is going to be a half double crochet. That's it. I'm using 4mm crochet, half double crochet, fingering weight yarn, and then again, here's what it looks like all caked up. Super beautiful. Very, very happy with this. And thank you for Sarah for getting into the comments last night and saying, hey, the name of that is the Warbler. You gotta scroll down a little bit. I seriously just missed it. So this one is not available on the site right now, but there are quite a few other colors, including this gorgeous one that I'm gonna pull up. The perfect pumpkin spice fingering weight yarn right there. I might actually have to go to her shop and see if she has some of this in store, but right now it's available online at Muse 2320. Really love the blackberry compote too. It's just beautiful, really. The combination of the main color with the black striping almost throughout it. Something fun, and I don't really have anything else like this in my yarn stash. Now I have this other bit of yarn that I need to kind of decide the direction that I want to go. So I could either do a pair of socks, which if you have some ideas, obviously leave it in the comments down below. I would love to know the direction that you're going to go with. Again, that is the whole point of this box, is to spark creativity and just keep the spooky alive. Looked around my Muse 2320 stash to see what I have in order to play around with this, because sometimes I do end up just buying like one singular hank in a certain colorway or a certain texture of yarn simply because I fall in love with that, but I don't really have a pattern in mind. So I was looking through all that and I found this little baddie. Could not believe that I have this entire cake of yarn. Like, I don't think I used anything out of this. Maybe I had it for a different project and this is what was left. Either way, I am so freaking happy that I have it left because this is the Bumblebee Schlub. We have so much texture going on with it and these little beehive things in here. This is always a favorite of mine. So anytime it's in Muse 2320, I'm like, okay, I need at least one. What colorways do we have? And this one obviously screams to me, especially since we're doing Beetlejuice inspired stuff, like, okay. But if I hold these two together, this is an absolute yes for me right here. What I want to make it into, I don't really know. Maybe this beanie that I'm working on, since I'm using the 4mm crochet hook, like there's a lot of space. It's definitely going to be stretchy, airy, super drapey. So I have room. I could hold these two together, and the texture that this is going to bring, I know that I keep saying that, but I can't express it enough. Like this is just my all-time favorite combination right here. Muse 2320 site, go to the hand-dyed yarn, and then right on the top right-hand corner, Bumblebee Schlub fingering weight. It's 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon, and that 10% nylon, you definitely feel it. Like it has some stretch to it, it flexes, it molds how you want it to be. So just keep that in consideration when you're working that up into any pattern. There's 16 results for colors, and this one is available. It is called Dope. That is what she looks like in hank form. Just stunning. I'm just obsessed with it every single time it hits her store. It's not really that big a decision for me. I guess I am just now in my beanie making era. So I am going to cake this up real quick and do a little swatch just to see how these two play with each other. Here's what I have so far. Really happy with the direction that it's going. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it exactly the same as this one, but right now I think I have 4 half double crochet, and for this one I went all the way up to 6. I think I might do the same, even though it's going to be a little bit bulkier, obviously, since I'm holding the two together, but we'll see. I don't know. For right now, we're going to go this direction. All right, so that is night number 2 with our 13 nights of Halloween hangover box. I'm just going to keep working on this hat as much as I possibly can tonight. Let me know in the comments if you want to see this totally finished. I feel like if I just put all my energy into this one and no other project tonight, I could totally get it done. Just 2 more rows and then start doing just repeat around, build up the length of the hat. Also, look at the back here. We have all these little bumpy bits. I just freaking love this texture so much. So hopefully you've been enjoying this so far, a little bit of Halloween spirit every single day. Have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you ghouls in my next video.